Hello everyone. First of all, thank you again for great messages, great emails. I really appreciated your involvement. Welcome new subscribers to my channel. Today I would like to talk about my gear. Technically I don't really like to talk about the gear because everyone somehow has to figure out what works best for you. And sometimes that takes time to kind of know what works, what doesn't work for you. But I'm getting a lot of requests and people just keep asking what kind of equipment do you use and why you're using it. So today's vlog I would like to dedicate it to the gear what I'm using. I will try to kind of keep it interesting. I know there's so much out there. I'll just limit myself to the information, to the gear what I'm using. Feel free to comment, send me a message if you have any more specific questions. So let me start with my camera. So I'm using the D800, the Nikon one. I really like this camera. I've been for many years, because I was a wedding photographer, I used to use the Nikon D3S, which was extremely fast. It's still amazing camera, but for some reason this camera just for headshots is just more than perfect. First of all, the pixel counts, the images they're very large, and that makes my editing part much easier. I can really dig into some of the details which I was unable to do with my D3S. And another thing what I would like to say, this camera is a little bit slower than D3S. The D3S is just a gun, like you can keep shooting extremely fast. And that's great for weddings, but I found when it comes to the headshot photography, you really want to slow down a little bit. Like you don't want to just keep firing as like crazy. So that camera is giving me that opportunity to work a little bit slower, to think what I'm doing, and I deeply believe this is a great thing. I know one of the sales pitches sometimes, what the salesmen are saying, wow, this camera is so fast, you can just shoot I don't know, 25 frames per second or whatever number it is. But I think that's just doesn't do anything, because you don't want to shoot whatever 20 images per second. You really want to make sure you're getting the right image, and you want to have this process a little bit slow down. So that's great. So I love this camera. I know there's a new version, the D800E. Never had a chance to work on it. At some point I think I might try it, and maybe I'll purchase one, but for now I really fall in love with this camera, and I would never replace this for anything else. I don't know what's its equivalent for the Canon one, but I think they are equally good. So this is just a body, but I really like it. So primarily I'm using, when I'm going to talk about the lens, so for all my headshot I'm using the Nikon version of 70-200. Really love this lens. The one disadvantage is that this lens is extremely heavy. Like if you look at it, it's really big, it's really bulky. You really feel it when you kind of have it in your hands. Has this vibration thing in this lens, so like it just when your hand vibrates whatever, then you can actually reduce that a little bit. Most of the time I have this whole thing on, but usually when I shoot, I'll try to shoot everything above 1/200 of a second, so that's reduced that anyway, so I don't worry much about it. But it's extremely good lens. It's quite expensive, and it costs a lot, but it's a great investment. If you are planning to do a lot of headshot photography, this is the lens I would recommend. Spend that money because you will see the difference, and you will see that it's gonna really work well for you. Okay, so the next thing is what I would like to talk about are the Speedlights. So I have 3 of them. I know some photographers, they have like way more of them, but I'm using 3 of them, and I do have the the Speedlight SB910. I also have the SB900. I know, and I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but the 900 had a little bit of issue with the overheating. So usually I use that only to like lit up the background or something like this. So I'm not using this as a my primary speed light for the main light. I'm using the SB910, and I also have the SB800. I love those speed lights. They're awesome. They never disappoint me. They've been great. So make sure that yeah, just pick something what's gonna work well for you. So the one thing what I want to talk about it, because we actually use battery. I use the whatever what it's called, the double A's for powering those speed lights. So make sure, and this is like tip from my experience, that you having rechargeable batteries. Back in the days, I was buying like tons of like Duracell or whatever batteries just to kind of, and I was just spending tons of money on it. Like literally, that was one of the biggest expenses every month, was just going to the Costco and buying tons of them. And the problem was that I never, like after every shoot, I was just throwing them out. So like I did first shoot, use let's say 4 batteries, and then I wasn't, because you don't really know if they like full charge or they like, you know, almost done. You never also want to go all the way to the end, especially on every shoot, because that's kind of complicated to just, you know, take stuff apart and then put this whole thing together. So good tip to get those rechargeable batteries, and then after the shoot you come back home or to the office and then recharge them, put them back in, and then you're ready to go for the next shoot, and you don't have to worry that you're just running out of the batteries, or you know, you have to just keep buying them and spend tons of money. So I'm using, for the next thing what I want to talk about is to releasing those speed lights. I'm using the Pocket Wizard TT Flex TT5. They were highly recommended by Dylan Patrick. I absolutely love those. The one thing what I would like to say is, whenever you're gonna buying those, make sure you're buying them for specific brand, like in this case for Nikon. This is a little story. I bought, because I used to, and I like to buy stuff which are not really new. Like if there's a chance I can buy something which is used, I always, you know, pinch some pennies to get something cheaper. And unfortunately, I bought 3 of those, and they were for Canon, and I had literally no idea that, you know, you have to buy them for a specific brand. And I remember came home, tried to use them, and nothing works, and I was just like, what's going on here? Took me a few days to like literally figure that out. I felt so embarrassed because yeah, it's kind of something which, you know, it always should work, and it's just such a simple thing. And then there's little kind of note in the bottom which says for Nikon, and I just for some reason didn't see it. So, and I had 3 of those, and also good tip, I have them numbered so I know which one I'm using, so I know exactly which one goes where. I like to have everything organized, so whenever I go to the shoot, everything is prepared and is ready to go, and I don't have to kind of just find the right stuff, and I want to make sure that I know exactly which one goes where and stuff like that. So this is go to your Speedlight. So you pretty easily just like hook this whole thing in. And then I'm going to be talking a little bit more about the soft boxes, but that's going to be in a second. So you just put this whole thing together, just fire this up, and putting on your Speedlight, on your soft box, and you're good to go. So it's pretty simple. The good thing is that using Speedlights, you don't need any outlets for power. You can shoot anywhere, and I absolutely love this. This is such an amazing idea that kudos to those guys who come up with this and took this to the next level, because that's really what makes this headshot photography well, much easier for us. It's convenient. We don't have to worry about a lot of things. It's simple, works well, and yeah, it's just a great thing. Okay, so going forward, So to release those speedlights, I'm using this little guy over here, which you actually mount to your camera. I'll show you here. So you basically just clump this in. And also with this stuff, there's little batteries, which is I guess Patrick was talking about it in his workshop, that there's a little battery here which just yeah, it's kind of weird engineering here. I don't know why they come up even with this. They were just dying after like a couple shoots. So Pocket Wizards come up with this little cable here, which you just plugged in over here. Then you just plug it to your camera and basically just start. This little guy is powered by the camera. Great idea, great thing. You can get this cable in every camera store, whatever. It's pretty pricey. I don't know how much I paid, like $100 or something. Like, it was just fairly expensive. But the good thing about it is that you don't have to worry about any batteries. Like, you know, you just plug that in and it's like, you already is blinking, so it's good to go. Okay, so the next thing what I want to talk about is soft boxes. So I'm using I have two Deep Octa by Rotalux. So this is one of them. This is the small one. I really love those, and there's few reasons behind it. I'm the kind of guy who shoots a lot, and I want to make sure that this equipment is really reliable. Like, it's really made from solid materials. You can just take it up, put it up, put it down very, very quickly. Also, you can just put in parts and then just put it all together. And I've been, because I don't have a studio, so I have to on every shoot I have to just break this apart, put in this little baggie, and then just, you know, just put this back up. So I want to make sure that after, I don't know, 6-7 months, this whole thing is not start falling apart. And this one, the little one, because there's a small one and there's a big one. So this is 27 inch, and I think the big one is 39 inch, and they both made amazingly. Like, this is something where I would highly recommend it. Again, they're a little bit more pricey, but when you actually start looking to work in this industry, this one has I think over 2 years, and you can't really tell that they've been worn down. Like, it's just, they look like, maybe not brand new, but they look like I'm going to be using them for another, I don't know, 5 to 10 years easily. So, and they have like 2 layers here of this fabric, which soften the light. So one is here, as you can see. This other one is over here. So whenever I do a shoot for females, I'm using 2 layers because that gives me a little more softened light. For the guys, I'm just using the top one. Actually, someone recently told me on Facebook, which I'm thankful for, that, you know, I should try just using this panel over here and don't use this one, and see how the picture is gonna look like. Never try this. I'm planning to do this in the next few weeks, and so I'll definitely share with you how this whole thing's gonna look like and how the image is gonna turn out. And as you can see on the back, so how we mount the Speedlight. So there's a little guy like this over here. I don't think there's a specific brand. I bought this and it was fairly cheap. It was like $40 at our local camera store. It's a little bit plasticky, but it's made, like, looks solid, and I never had any issues with it. So basically what you do, you just like, there you go. Sorry, I have to just do this the weird way. So this little clip on the back, and basically what you do, you just clip it over here, this little screw, and basically you just put this on the tripod and you're ready to go. And then let me turn that on. And then when I actually just, oh, we'll see if this is even working. See already, and it's like, it's good to go. So it's pretty easy setup. I absolutely love this. I don't go with any other equipment. There's so much out there available. With the headshot photography, I found you have to just keep it simple and easy, and basically whenever you go for the shoot, you have to set it up fairly quick, so you don't have to just find outlets to just plug stuff in. And then that's sometimes, I remember back in the days when I used to use alien lights, that was the biggest challenge for me, because you know, you have to make sure everything is secure and safe, and there's no like extension cords because people can trip, and there's like safety hazard. So the Speedlight is just absolutely wonderful. So I want to make sure that you guys can even try it, because it's not expensive, and it's pretty as I said, easy setup to put this whole thing together. The tripods I'm using, I don't remember the name of them, but they're not some fancy ones. They have to be solid, they have to be made well, so whenever you go for the shoot, especially when you shoot outside a lot, you have to have some additional like sandbags or something, so this whole thing is not gonna fall down, because that and I had those situations in the past. But with the Speedlights, I found even if they fall down, and you know, they always kind of don't break as easy. But I had a situation where I had alien lights, and then I was shooting outside, and the wind just picked it up, and then this whole thing just fall down and just crashed, and then this entire light was just pretty much gone. So that was like a really expensive lesson to learn. And the last thing what I want to talk about today is the chair. And I want to show you, I just bought this stuff. I bought this chair in Winners, and something like this. There's a little handle over here which you can actually just lift it up, and you can just go up and down, so you can regulate it, so you can get to whatever height you want. And the main reason it's important to have a good chair, because I've been doing shoots where people were sitting or standing, and believe me, whenever people are sitting, the pictures turns way better. They more comfortable, they can lean forward, so they can basically move their body much easier, and they more relaxed for some reason. Whenever they're standing, they try to make this different posture, and then it's kind of tough to get them lean forward and do whatever you want to do to get the good headshot. So the chair, I think, out of this whole equipment, was one of the investments which I found like I have to have it on every shoot, and I carry this chair everywhere with me. Like whenever I go for headshot photography, and I have a client, I always, because some places wherever you go, they do have it, some stools or some things where they can kind of sit down. But having the chair with you, it's always a plus, because if they don't have it or it's uncomfortable, whatever, you always just pull it out, and then people can sit on it, and you can just do whatever you want to get those great shots. So you can just look around, and you don't have to spend tons of money. I think I paid like $45 for it, so it wasn't really expensive. But I really like the fact that you can regulate it, the height. It's kind of, you can move this chair like around, so the person can kind of move to whatever side you want. So it's pretty cool, and it has this little kind of solid bottom, so you can just put it anywhere. Okay, so that would conclude the most important things, and in my opinion. So I hope that was helpful. If you have any additional questions or specific questions, please feel free to tweet me or message me or send me an email. I'll be more than happy to answer all your questions, all your concerns. And this is pretty much what I'm using on every single shoot. I actually have two bodies just a backup. The one thing also what I want to mention, and I hope it's not a little bit too late because I've been talking for 20 minutes already. So I'm using two cards over here. SD card is like the other one, and I always actually have a backup, so I'm just shooting on two cards. I never had a situation that the card failed me, knock on the wood, but things can happen. The good thing is with the headshot, you can always reshoot it, or you can actually do something for the client that if something goes wrong, then you can actually do this over again. With the weddings, it's a different story, right? When you're done, and there's like disaster pretty much. So thank you for watching. I hope that was helpful. I will be looking forward to hear from you guys. Yeah, you guys will hear from me very soon. Bye now.